I'm just back from what I can only describe as a life-changing vacation. Greece has been a bucket list vacation for me since I can remember. I wanted to really go there on our honeymoon, but back then we didn't have the money for the trip. And to say I feel truly blessed to have been able to make it there this year is a complete understatement. And the fact that I was able to share the experience with my kids, even though at points, I'm not going to lie, the thought did go through my head that I should have left them home, 12 days of vacation with no breaks and a lot of traveling in between, and throw in jet lag and teenage hormones. It's a lot, but I do feel so blessed to have been able to give our kids that experience. And I made sure to tell them on multiple occasions how blessed they are and to take a moment to really soak in the moment and to be so grateful that they're experiencing something that most people can only dream about. I don't take that lightly either. Russ and I, we both work really hard and have worked very hard to be able to afford a trip like this and to plan a trip like this. And I'm hoping that somewhere in all of that, our kids are learning that hard work pays off. The trip was absolutely amazing. We saw some amazing sights, some breathtaking beaches, had some amazing experience, and I got to see some beautiful sunsets and a few sunrises. I didn't post pics because our Wi-Fi was pretty terrible, and instead of getting upset about it, I took it as a sign to just detach from everything, and for the most part, I really did. I really only used my phone to take pictures, and it felt really great to take that break. I highly recommend it. If you're able to do that, put your phone down, maybe just take pictures, but stay off social media for a bit. If you're able to take a vacation, totally do it when you can. I came across a quote recently that I really just wanted to do an entire episode on because I think it's really important topic for us moms, especially those perfectionist mamas out there. I see you. I used to be you. And it's really hard trying to do all the things and trying to be at all the places and expecting everything to be exactly as you imagine it. And when it's not, let's just say it doesn't sit too well with you. Been there, done that. Today, we are talking about how to find peace in all that chaos because let's face it, mamas, even when you plan your week, life gets chaotic. And just a side note, if you struggle with keeping up with all the things on your plate, getting control of your schedule, organizing and planning your week, and finding time in that chaos to do the things that rejuvenate you and light you up, book a discovery call with me today and discover the work-life balance that is possible in your life. For more information or to book your call today, just check out the show notes for the details. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work, with time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Kerri, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. Yesterday's mindset quote was the inspiration for today's episode. I came across the quote a few months ago and I just knew I had to share it on the show. The quote was, "Ego says, once everything falls into place, I'll feel at peace. Spirit says, find your peace and everything will fall into place." That darn ego. That ego is the part of us that craves control. And those perfectionist mamas out there, it's the part of you that craves perfection. It's your inner ego's voice in your head that tells us that we have to have everything perfectly organized before we can relax. For a working mom, this might mean thinking, once the house is spotless, the kids are perfectly behaved, I've completed that big project, or I get that promotion at work, then I'll find peace. Then I'll be happy. This perspective sets a really high bar and will cause you more stress and disappointment because let's face it, life is rarely that perfect. On the other hand, the spirit represents our deeper, wiser self that understands that peace really comes from within. The spirit says, find your peace, then everything will fall into place. This takes a serious mindset shift. Instead of waiting for all those external conditions to be just right, you're focusing on cultivating and nurturing that inner peace first. The inner peace then influences and improves all of your external circumstances. I can't tell you how much more at peace I have been over the past few years since I started working on my inner self. I say started because you're never done. It's a journey and a practice. Some days are definitely easier than others, but today I'm sharing my tips on how to find that inner peace in your chaos in your day-to-day crazy. Number 1, create a good morning routine, which you know I am all about. And it starts with getting up before your kids. The house is so peaceful before your kids get up, before those little humans are demanding your time. When you are able to have that quiet time, even if you're just getting up early enough to shower and enjoy a hot cup of whatever you drink, but if you can, get up even earlier and squeeze some meditation in there, just a few minutes of deep breathing exercise. You can use a meditation app or just simply sit quietly and focus on your breath. It helps still your mind and gives you a lot more patience for when everyone wakes up and you have to attempt to get everyone fed, ready, and out of the house on time. Number 2, create a good nighttime or evening routine that involves prepping for tomorrow. Whatever you can prepare the night before to make tomorrow easier, do it. School lunches, water bottles, having the kids pick out their outfits, you pick out your outfit, which, confession time, I rarely pick out my outfit the night before, and Russ, he's an absolute saint. He already deals with my alarm going off at 4:20 every morning, and then he has to hear me rummaging through my drawers to pick out my clothes for the day. I think I need to start practicing what I preach here. I think if I was going into the office, I would do this more, but I luckily work from home, and it's just picking out what leggings and tank top I'm going to wear that day, so it's really not that hard. But having everything ready to go, even the kids' backpacks, sports bags, dance bags, will make your day more peaceful because as you're playing Uber driver for your kids, bringing them to and from activities, you don't have to worry about packing their stuff, right? Because you know you did it the night before and it's just ready to go. Number 3, set those boundaries. Clearly define your work hours and your family time. Let your colleagues know your limits. Let your colleagues know your limits and stick to them. This not only helps in reducing stress, but it also ensures that you're fully present whether you're at work or with your family. Talk to your manager about your time commitments outside of work so that you're on the same page. And even if you have to do stuff during the day for your kids, maybe you can discuss having a flex schedule on some days if your job is really a stickler for your time. So maybe if you have to drop the kids off in the morning or have to do pickup, maybe you don't take a break for lunch, or maybe you work a little later to make up for that time. That's more if you work from home. If you have to go into work, talk to your manager about the time you have to leave. Most would be understanding about the need to be home to pick up your kids from daycare or to get them to an activity. And side note, if you're at a job or your employer is not understanding of life outside of work and you don't feel like you have that flexibility you need, maybe it's time to look for another job. Number 4, practice gratitude. Be grateful for all the things you have in your life. Even when you are struggling, things can always be worse. And there are many people on this earth that have it a lot worse off than you do. Try to find the good in any situation. Flip the script. Instead of saying you have to do something, say you get to do something, especially on those weekend mornings when you have to get up early to get the kids to a sport event or dance class. Cooking dinner, and this is a big one for me because if you know me, you know how much I hate to cook. I have to tell myself that I am grateful for the family I get to feed, for the food options I get to choose from, for the fact that I have a kitchen that I get to cook in. I just bought new plates this year, so I remind myself that I'm grateful for the pretty plates I have. It might sound silly, but the more you point out the things you could be grateful for, the less you're focusing on the negative, like cooking the actual dinner. And the more you practice gratitude, you'll see that more positive things actually start to happen. Number 5, practice mindfulness and stay present. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment. Try to focus fully on whatever you're doing, whether it's playing with your kids, taking a walk, working on a project, or eating food, which I am a foodie and I really try to enjoy every bite. But when you focus on the present moment, you are reducing the worry and the anxiety you have about everything else you feel you need to get done or you have to do. And I can't stress this enough. Take advantage of those moments with your kids, especially your little ones. The time goes by way too fast. I wish I could go back and just relive those simple moments, like watching them play with their toys on the living room floor. And my favorite was playing restaurant with their toy kitchen where they would pretend to be a waitress and take our orders and then make us a delicious meal. I just saw this post that is getting shared around Facebook of a mom in a parking lot witnessing 2 interactions. One is a frantic mom trying to get her 3 kids into a car and giving them snacks. And then in the same parking lot, a grandma with her 3 grandkids, putting them in their car seats and giving them snacks, all calm, taking her time and just really enjoying the moment and laughing with their grandkids. As moms, we tend to be in a rush and we miss out on these little moments. So stop rushing, stop overthinking, and just enjoy these moments. The more you appreciate these little moments, the more you will shift your perspective on what is truly important in this life. And spoiler alert, it's not your job. Number 6, adapt the mindset of everything happens for reasons. My mom stressed this a lot when we were little, and it's something that I have just come to firmly believe in my life because some amazing things have come out of events or circumstances that I thought were terrible in the actual moment. One that I've shared before is the story of how Russ and I got together. I was staying at college for the summer, and I was supposed to be living in a dorm room with my sorority sisters, and residential life messed up my room assignment. And they put me in a room with this random person, and I was absolutely distraught. I cried. I tried to get my room changed, and I couldn't. And I thought it was going to be the worst summer ever. And to this day, it is still one of the best summers I've ever had. Russ ended up living on the same floor as me that summer. We knew each other for probably over a year at that point, but we didn't really start hanging out until that summer. And if it wasn't for that room mix-up, Russ and I would not have gotten close and would never have hooked up, and I wouldn't be where I am today. So when something that you perceive to be bad happens, try to take a step back and ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this, or what good can come out of this? I'm sure you can look back at something that has happened in your life that in the moment you thought was terrible, but in hindsight, something great came out of it. And this mindset can be used for other things. My mom used to use the example of getting stuck at a red light or getting stuck in traffic. She used to say that it was God's way of keeping you where you are in the moment to either prevent something bad from happening, like if you made that green light, you might have gotten into an accident, or if you're stuck in traffic, maybe it's making sure that you'll get to where you're going at an exact moment you need to because you'll meet someone or you'll have an interaction with someone that will change their life. So the next time you're stuck in traffic, think about it in that aspect. Don't get upset or frustrated. There is nothing you can do to make the cars go faster. And just another funny story. I was stuck in traffic one day and it put me in a really bad mood and I was getting angry that I was in a bad mood. So I said I was going to try to do something about it. So I decided to just start smiling. I'm going to smile through the traffic and try to make the most of it. And I was literally forcing myself to smile, and it eventually made me just start laughing at the ridiculous of myself. But you know what? It worked. It changed my mood and made the traffic bearable. And if anyone was looking at me from the other cars, they either thought I was crazy or that I was having the best day of my life. So try it out the next time you're in traffic. Number 7, connect with nature. Get out of the house, get out of the office, take a break, and just be outside. If you have a park or a green space near you, go there and just take it in. And if you have to bring your kids with you, then bring your kids with you. It's best to use this time for your mental reset. I call my midday walks my mental mile because I walk a mile and it's my mental break. But as moms, you have to do what works for you. Strap your kids in the stroller and just get out. Maybe you go feed the ducks if you have ducks near you. Although we have signs by our rivers that say not to feed the ducks, but it's something I used to love doing with the kids when they were little. No one eats the heels of the bread in our house, so I would always save them for our duck walks. But just getting out, getting a change of scenery, getting some fresh air really does wonders for your mental health. And if you can't go for a walk and you have some grass in your yard or around your house, just going outside and standing barefoot in the grass, closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths, that is a way to ground yourself. If you practice yoga or know what your chakras are, standing barefoot on the earth is so great for your root chakra. It helps you feel safe and secure and can really help reduce stress and anxiety. Sometimes I'll just go out and walk around in my yard barefoot. And while I do this, I am very present in the moment. I am feeling my feet touch the grass. I'm aware and mindful about every part of my foot as it makes contact with the grass and what it feels like. When I'm taking deep breaths, I'm mindful of the feeling of the air coming in through my nose and filling up my lungs. I'm making myself aware of what the air smells like. I'm listening to the sounds around me, taking in the birds chirping, the cars driving by, the airplanes flying overhead. That's what it means to connect with nature. Something so simple and so quick can really add such a moment of peace in your day. Number 8, plan your week. I think if I say this enough in every episode that all of you might start doing this. Take time to plan your week and block time to take breaks. Block time for self-care. Even if that self-care is sitting in the car listening to a meditation app while you wait for your kid to be done with whatever activity they're in. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to go home in between drop-off and pickup time. So maybe plan to take a walk around the area their activity is in. Or maybe that's a great time to squeeze in a manicure. If you are intentional about planning your week, you can identify these little pockets of times to do something for you. Number 9, unplug from technology. Do a digital detox. Not being on social media and having my phone these past 2 weeks has been a serious blessing. I can be upset about all the things I wasn't able to do, like work on my course and post pictures of our amazing vacation, which the picture posting would mostly be for my Facebook memories, but On that note, sometimes scrolling your social feed and seeing all the amazing things people are posting adds to your stress and can actually make you depressed because you're envious of what they are doing while you're stuck at home doing laundry or cleaning your house. It's also such a time suck and productivity killer. If you really start to track the amount of time you spend on your cell phone, you might actually shock yourself. And side note, I do have a great freebie for this one. If you want to check it out, it's my tech timeout guide for moms. You can grab your free copy right now. The link is in the show notes. If you want to find more time in your week for some peace, you will definitely find it by putting down that phone. Number 10, create a soothing space, your personal sanctuary. Designate a small corner of your home as your peaceful retreat. Decorate it with things that make you happy, plants, cozy pillows, or calming colors. This is the space you're going to spend a few minutes in when you need to recharge. This is the perfect space to journal, or if you have a morning coffee before the kids get up, that's where you're going to sit. I'm working on giving my family room a little facelift just for this. We have a bunch of mixed match furniture that just doesn't go with each other in half of our family room, and I can see it right from my favorite spot on our couch, and it's just not relaxing. So I'm getting a few new coordinating pieces, including a desk, so I have another space in my house to podcast from. I'm changing out the pillows, getting a plant, an area rug, and a hanging light fixture just so when I sit in that spot, I love everything that I see. And bonus tip number 11, and I'm sure you can guess it, give yourself grace. Self-compassion is so important. Be kind to yourself. Remember, you are doing your best, and it's okay to have off days. We all have them. I have them all the time. Practice self-compassion and treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer to others. You deserve it. Finding peace in the chaos is all about creating small, intentional moments of calm throughout your day. By incorporating these tips into your routine, you could really build a more balanced and happy life. And remember, you're an incredible mom, and taking care of yourself is just as important as taking care of your family. If you haven't already joined our Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms, come on over and let's keep this conversation going. And if you don't already follow the show, take a second and hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom, Wife, Career Life with Kerri Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom, Wife, Career Life with Kerri Pat.